start with an opening statement from Coach Beard, then we'll take questions for both coaches if you can specify who for.
Yeah, tonight was more than the 40-minute basketball game for us. But within the game, I think we beat a quality opponent tonight. I think that team will compete in their conference, veteran team. I think their coach is doing a great job. They really controlled the tempo of the game and kept it where they wanted it to. And I think in the second half we separated just a little bit, but a lot of respect for tonight's opponent. Really appreciative of the crowd tonight, especially the students that came out on a Friday night before such a big opportunity football game tomorrow. You guys see the shirt here, I think. Coach, what year was this? The first year? I mean, we've coached here 2 years. We ain't got no shirts yet.
Coach. You got a shirt coming.
Okay.
It's coming.
Yeah. I think Ole Miss policy in basketball is you have to coach for 3 years to get a shirt. But,
it's coming.
You know, look, confidence is everything, too. Like, I was excited about wearing this tonight, and I just put it on in the locker room, and I don't think it's like a medium. And so I was just going to put my shirt on and bring it out and show you. And then two of my three daughters and Megan kind of instilled some confidence in me to wear it. So I appreciate if nobody makes any comments in the media. Here's the deal. Everybody's seen the most played commercial on TV right now. What is it? It's the Arby's steak bites. You know you've seen it. It's the most played commercial. I don't even watch TV, and I've seen it. So, Coach, I went the other day, and I had some Arby's steak bites. I've always been a fan of Arby's. I get the giant.
Here, Coach, okay?
Yeah, I've always been a fan of Arby's, but the steak bites, I think that's why this shirt doesn't fit right now. So, you like Arby's, Coach?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that horsey sauce and the white sauce. The Arby's sauce is red, the horsey sauce white. I mix that up, man. I get that giant. Yeah,
You gotta mix it up?
Yeah.
I have mixed it up.
The problem was in like junior college and Division II, you eat these meals on the bus and it's dark. And I do my best to make sure that it wasn't getting it all over my shirt. And then we'd make that first stop 3-4 hours down the road, go to a truck stop. And I go in there and I'd just be like blasted like I was 5 years old at a Chuck E. Cheese buffet.
Sounds like me.
Well, no, like we said it yesterday's press conference. Ole Miss basketball has a lot of tradition. And I think one of the responsibilities we have, being the current coaches here, to try to unite everybody under one umbrella. Like no matter who you played for, what year you were a season ticket holder, we wanted to bring everybody back. And start with Coach Evans and Coach Wetlick. And this is just me personally. This has just been a cool weekend. I'm glad we won the game tonight, but there was a lot of external things going on, which I don't apologize for. To recognize Coach, his family, his wife, and represent all the players, even the players that weren't able to make it to Oxford. I know they'll see this game, they'll hear about it, and all those guys, Coach, are welcome. Like they're welcome. They're wanted. They're needed. If they want tickets, if they want gear, all they got to do is call me, Coach. Any questions tonight for me or for Coach?
Find yourself coaching, sitting in the stands there at any point, there?
No. I wanted no part of the game. I felt for both sides. Obviously, I recruited that team over on the other side and knew they were in for a battle. I watched Coach and his staff work for the last 2 days, and I know it was going to be difficult for them. I felt for Coach because I know how it is to, kind of have high expectations, and you get into a half and not play as well as you thought you were capable of playing. And that's going to happen this time of year. I thought they went in the dressing room, and I told my son I wouldn't want any part of being in that dressing room tonight at halftime. So I just moseyed over and got on the radio and kind of continued to enjoy myself and visit with those guys.
Rod, you mentioned it like one of your son coaches over Bakersfield, but
Yes.
then you're here inside the building, walking those halls again. What kind of special night was it for you specifically to just be able to be back in the walls and have all of those connectors, I guess, for this game?
I couldn't put it in words. I mean, if I was to say thank you to Coach, I couldn't do it enough tonight. If I couldn't thank Ole Miss and the Ole Miss family for how they've embraced me, how they've loved on me. This weekend is something that, again, I can't put in words. I was expecting, because it's Ole Miss, but I wasn't expecting all of this. And me and my wife are thankful and grateful. And whatever we can do, obviously, we felt that way. But after just being back, a lot of you guys, I don't know you guys. I've met a lot of people, that I remember that's here tonight. And I don't know, I'll be thinking about this from years to come. And that's what you want to do with memories, like what happened with the Tad Pad. You want to be thinking about this 15, 20 years. I'm thankful that my grandkids and my son's wife, this is their first time being in Mississippi. And man, Coach, they did an unbelievable job. So we're all happy and pleased and can't say thank you enough.
Anything in particular kind of like rushing back when you're walking out there on the court again? And, I know, the 2001 season, everybody talks about that.
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything from getting here and getting knocked out in the first couple of weeks by Derek Horn and getting pressured by, Cecil Dow to being here, and winning and having success. And I understand the seat that Coach is in, so I can kind of understand and be sympathetic to where he is now, but also encouraging and exciting. So there was a lot of emotion, a lot of things came up. I had a joke with Keith today about being here, and all of a sudden we playing, and then the rain just started dropping down, and we still was proud to be a part of the, have the Tad Pad, or coming here in December, and Coach Evans walks out, and there's gloves and things, and people got on skull caps and half jackets and everything, and Coach tells them to go back to the locker room. We'll practice the next day, and I don't know whether he thought the heat was going to come on the next day. It didn't come on that day. So I don't know what he was expecting. So the next day, we just moved practice back. So all of that gives us great memories. Then to get the program to where now it is. Obviously this is a close on a great arena, great memories that we'll always have. But Coach has another place that he can go and play, and and hopefully that we'll continue to grow the program. I think we had some guys come back tonight that hasn't been here that want to join and be a part. And just Coach doing this has brought a lot of healing, brought a lot of unity and a lot of togetherness. So I think moving forward things will be better.
Well, and also the program, Chris and them, they matched your, Sweet 16. That was the single season greatest accomplishment in Ole Miss history until they did it last year. To see the program and how it's grown in that way, what's that like for you?
Well, I was excited. I mean, I'm a part of it. When you feel like you've been a part of something, and you see it grow, you see it in a position that become really, really special. As I said, I was rooting. I always go to the Final Four. And I kept saying, hey, man, we just a few more games away, And I was hoping, because I had said I thought we had a shot. I don't know if you can make it to the Final Four, but I thought we had a shot to get to the Elite Eight. Felt the same way last year. And I've encouraged Coach, and he'll tell you this, I've encouraged the players, hey, put yourself in this position again this year, and give yourself a chance and give yourself a shot. And I think the second half was a testament to how this team could be a really good basketball team.
Chris, why is history and recognizing it so important to you?
It's probably I was raised by my dad, and then the coaches that I played for. Played for 2 Hall of Fame high school coaches, and then certainly learning from Coach Knight how he respected the game and those that came before, whether it's Mr. Iba or Coach Sutton or Claire B. And also I always just thought it's common sense. It's like you show up somewhere, and we really benefited from Kermit's years here, period. I said it last year, like Matt Morrell, Brakefield on the roster, a defensive identity, and I know Kermit felt the same way about AK, and you can go down the line from Evans to Barnes to Wetlick and all the other coaches. So to me, it's always been common sense that you recognize the job you have today is because a lot of people paid the price and put the program into the position that it is.
Rod mentioned halftime. What was the message at halftime?
Well, I think one, just not a lot of adjustments, just kind of recommitting to the original game plan. Their guard 0, I believe, could play in the SEC. You guys saw it, and I just think give him a lot of credit. He put us in some tough positions, but we try to get back to some original game plan ideas with that. Their coach does a great job controlling the tempo. You want to be aggressive. You want to play well, a lot of emotion in the building, but it's going to be a low possession game when the coach is controlling it like that. So possessions were very important tonight. We weren't going to get many. I think just kind of getting our guys to calm down a little bit. Everybody associates patience with offensive basketball, but when you play against a well-coached team that's trying to control the tempo, then you got to have some patience on defense as well. So halftime, more than anything, just kind of recommitting to what we wanted to do in the first place.
Chris, Keza Gifa, it seems like he's really become somewhat indispensable early on, not just with his activity offensively, but defensively, switching against bigger guys, being competitive. How has he really come on and been such a key part of this for the early going of the year?
Yeah, Kez is a good player. He's a grown man in a lot of ways. A lot of discipline off the floor. He's a father. That's the most important thing in his life. He's already got his college degree. He chose Ole Miss for one reason, to win. Not a lot of personal agendas with Kez. He's somebody I really respect off the court, and he's a good basketball player. He's preseason conference player of the year in his last school at High Point, and those of you guys that are familiar with basketball, I mean, High Point had unbelievable program the last few years. Not a good mid-major, not a Cinderella first-round win, like a really good program. So he'd been coached. He'd proven that he could win. He's a competitive guy. He works on his craft. We have a lot of confidence in Kez moving forward.
4 games, but are you seeing what you want to out of Corey and what you'd like his role to become so far?
No, but if you'd asked me that on any player on our roster, have I seen what I want to see after 4 games? No. We've seen the talent, and Corey's working really hard behind the scenes. He had a couple plays tonight that we call like player development type plays. The pull-up jumper, leading the fast break is a big guard. He's just got to stay the course. Corey needs to embrace every possession, like it matters, because it does. Every possession, like the lights are on, because they are. I'm pleased with Corey in terms of his approach. I believe in him as a person. But like the other 15 players on our team, nowhere near where we need to be.
I am getting to the free throw line 6 times in 16 minutes, I can't see. Is that kind of something you're encouraged by, young guy?
Yes, Patton's got a lot of abilities. Offensively, he's a 3-level scorer. And when you can score at all 3 levels, then you got to be able to get to the free throw line. So that's something we've been working on. It was good to see him. He's rebounding the ball better in practice, which is translated to games. Just a freshman out there playing with grown men in today's college basketball. He's holding his own. I'm proud of Patton. It's really, really hard to play at this level as a true freshman. His mind's in the right place. He's obviously got a lot of talent. He just needs to keep listening to his mom in terms of how competitive he needs to be. He figures that out. He's got the fight and the discipline that Kara has, and we'll have a real player around here.
Chris, you continue to state your motto, culture, and obviously the Tad Pad has a lot of culture. How do you take this and translate it to the pavilion and kind of build it up to the same eyes as Ole Miss has for the Tad Pad?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mentioned yesterday I coached in the Tad Pad as an assistant coach in an NIT quarterfinal type game. AK beat us. I think it may have been in overtime. And I remember. I don't remember all the details, but I remember the streamers. I remember the student section. And so, yeah, it's something we've talked about openly. Like, the pavilion's a relatively new building, and it's important to me to tap back into some of these old traditions. I wasn't here when the pavilion was built, but if I would have been, I would have had a strong opinion that we need to encourage the streamers. We need to encourage the players coming down, the fans before the game. There's some real tradition here at Ole Miss. We're building new ones in the pavilion, no doubt about it. But I think if we could tie some of the past to the current, like we tried to do this weekend with players, and I think that would be good.
All right, thanks all.
Thank y'all.